Boston.
Then it's LeBron versus Luka, followed by Kawhi and the Clippers against the Nuggets.
Greeny, all of the games on ESPN and ABC.
And Get Up and First Take will get your day started, telling you what to watch for and what to expect.
A Hoops Christmas to remember, starting with Get Up and First Take.
All right, looking forward to that, and these teams are in their final tune-ups before that. Lakers-Suns last night, first action for LeBron and Anthony Davis in the preseason, and let's take a look at some of the highlights here. That's LeBron playing a little defense and forcing it inside to Anthony Davis. LeBron scored just 1 point in the first quarter, but he would get it going in the second. Here is LeBron in isolation. We've seen that move before. 5 minutes left in the second quarter now. Take a look at Chris Paul. He drives and throws it basically to no one. LeBron is running the floor, and LeBron is going to be there for the putback bucket off Wesley Matthews. Now we're in the second quarter. LeBron showing up on the defensive end as well. Watch him as they throwing the ball down the floor. We got issues. We got Anthony Davis. He's putting it up and good. It is the Lakers who get the win 112-107. You see LeBron played 15 minutes, and they're getting ready for the debuts on Tuesday. Meanwhile, James Harden, this is really the story in the NBA. Yesterday, he avoided directly answering questions about his future and his desire for a trade out of Houston during his media availability. Here's how that went.
Right now, I'm just focused on being here. Today was good. Yesterday felt really good being out there. The first time since the bubble. I haven't really had an opportunity to do a lot of 5-on-5 work, but for my first time being out there, I think I felt pretty good.
James, what was the point that you were trying to get across when you went to Atlanta and Vegas?
I was just training.
What were you training for?
The start of the NBA season.
How did going to Atlanta and Vegas help you there when the Rockets were starting training camp in Houston?
Just my personal trainers.
So that is how that went. And here's how this is going to go. The one, the only, Rostradamus is back with us, Jalen Rose, because he sees all. He knows what's going to happen here. So, Jalen, welcome back. And let's go right to it. Harden, we had the story on ESPN.com yesterday that painted sort of a bad picture. We know he wants to be traded. How does all of this play out?
So he will eventually get moved. But here's the problem, Greeny. The other night when Daryl Morey in Philadelphia and Sean Marks and the Nets went to bed, they didn't wake up the next morning feeling like we must do what we got to do to get James Harden. He has to do what the Notorious Big once said, stay low, keep firing. If your goal is to get traded from the Houston Rockets, a place where you became an MVP candidate, won the MVP, has been the 3-time scoring champion, one of the elite players in the league, how you help them trade you after they add Christian Wood, after they add DeMarcus Cousins, after they add John Wall, how you help them help you is to show up on time at camp, to be in shape, to talk to the media, to do all of those things that make you just as attractive to the other 29 suitors in the league. When you make yourself a depressed asset, you make it tougher for the team to actually do a deal.
I get that, and I don't disagree with it. And in Hamilton, they said talk less, smile more, and maybe that would apply here as well. But at the end of the day, Jalen, you and I both know, and this guy's a walking 30-point triple-double wherever he goes, and every team in the NBA knows that, right? So there's still going to be people out there that want him.
Absolutely, I agree with you. One of the more unique players that you'll see in the history of the league, Greeny. I mean, the only guy at some point in his career that's going to lead the league in total assists, total points, total threes made, and or total free throws made during a season at some point in their career. Like, he's a fantastic offensive weapon. However, when you're such a great player sometimes, Greeny, it can become an acquired taste depending on the type of superstar that you are. So LeBron James can leave Cleveland, fit in Miami, and then go fit in LA. And obviously he's been around some other terrific players. So can Kevin Durant, OKC. I've seen him and Russ getting 40s and 50s. And then he goes to Golden State. Now he's going to make it work with Kyrie Irving. But James Harden, his style to get that 30 is an acquired taste, Greeny. Mm-hmm. He's going to do a lot of isolations. He's going to do a lot of step backs. And he's going to shoot about 10 to 15 three-pointers a game. And so in order for that to happen, the situation has to be built around you. The Houston Rockets were that. and it let me know that they were moving on. The first play of the game, when he returned, they had John Wall bring the ball up on the first possession, not James Harden.
Yeah, they know he's gone. Super quick, as I bring Louis, well, let me get Louis Riddick into the conversation here. Jalen Lewis is with us here. And Louis, you know, you are a person, again, who you understand the dynamics of team building and front office and all the rest of that. So put yourself in this situation. You've got the superstar. Jalen just pointed out some of the behavior here. He wants out. How are you handling the situation if you're the man in charge?
Well, I mean, communication obviously is always key, and then Jalen, pointed it out perfectly. If you want to get out, if you want me to help you, then you better make sure that you keep your value high so people aren't looking at you and looking at all the negatives that you could potentially bring to their franchise. Now, look, I understand the team building dynamics in basketball is much different. I mean, the players run the league in the NBA. The superstars run the league. They pretty much dictate their own terms. I mean, when you hear people talk about Houston saying, like, everything was set up for him, you don't hear that in the NFL. It's not the same type of thing. It's more about team. It's more about less of me and more of we in the NFL. In the NBA, it's just the opposite. But if you really want to get what you want to get, then you can't have yourself, looking like someone who an organization is going to have to totally go, hey, everyone else that's been here, guess what? We're going to acquire this guy and everything's going to be about him. That's hard to get people to swallow that and be able to be okay with that. So I would be having some serious conversations with him about, look, if you want to get out of here, and quite honestly, as a new GM, I probably want you out of here. Help me help you.
All right, so then, Jalen, one more piece of business here. We all saw the reporting yesterday from Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen that Louis Riddick had an interview with the Houston Texans to talk about their GM job, and tomorrow is meeting with the Lions. We talked about it earlier here. Jalen, born and raised Detroit Lions fan your entire life. Any thoughts for our friend Mr. Riddick?
Best of luck, Louis. I just want you to know that our team plays in the city, downtown Detroit, Ford Field. We love our Lions. There's no three better words than a Detroiter to tell you what up, though. We have a story history. Don't listen to guys like Greeny who come with the facts and tell you about our 0-16 season and we only won one playoff game in the last 60 years. Yeah, okay, I get it. But we're the franchise that had Barry Sanders, Lynn Barney. I know you know who Night Train Lane is. I know you know who Megatron is. What about Al Bubba Baker? Growing up, I sung Another One Bites the Dust every time we won a football game. So best of luck in your interview, and just so you know, if you ever become our general manager, we're die-hard fans of our Detroit Lions.
Can I just say one thing?
Greeny, what's that body language you're showing right there, man? Come on,
if you're trying to sell your franchise by bringing up Dick Night Train Lane, who finished his career before I was born and I'm old, then that suggests that we don't have a whole lot of recent history to grasp onto. That's the only thought, Louis, that I had as we went to Lem Barney and Night Train Lane, Jalen.
Those are legends. How about this? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Louis.
No, I was just going to say, look, this is a team that has history on its side as far as some of the great players that have ever played this game in the past. Look, Barry Sanders is one of a kind. Look, Herman Moore, Megatron, Al Bubba Baker. I mean, these are all guys who, in my childhood, I remember all these individuals. Chris Spielman. I mean, they've had some great players.